Hello everyone, welcome to 7 Up Plays! Ace Attorney Trilogy episode 67. Still on this damn trial. It's so long. Longer than, well, what was that one that was super long? I forget. And the DLC one from the first one? It's even longer. It's not longer than that one. It doesn't matter. But did you know that all disruptive parties will be forced to leave the courtroom? Your Honor. For the benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with his what-if game. His what-if game, Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense's theory. Mr. Wright, even you must have thought it strange and wondered, why would the criminal want this little wooden bear? He's right. The killer did specially bring that bear to on guard right away. Why do you ask? Is there something special about it? Absolutely. And I'm sure that once the court knows its significance, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. Your Honor, the prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear all doubts against Miss Andrews. And who would that be? Celeste Impax. It's quite simple, Your Honor. Miss Adrian Andrews herself. Oh, okay. No huge, shocking twist that she's been alive this whole time? I see. Well then, the court will take a short 10-minute recess. The prosecution will prepare its witness in that time. Yes, Your Honor. To be continued? No. Alright. Oh, I knew it was a good idea to hold her hostage. Don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer? But I never thought in your desperation you'd try to pin the guilt onto Adrian. I swear this demon will pay. Mr. Nick! Pearls? Where's Mia? I don't know. A really strong power suddenly called her away. A really strong power? Oh, Mr. Nick, your phone is... It's from Gumshoe. How's it going? Have you been hanging in there, pal? Yeah, oh, I have to turn my TV way down, whoops. Alright. Yeah, sort of. We just barely found... Waiting for the damn volume indicator to go away. Barely found something to latch onto. Phew, that's good, pal. And what about you? Anything yet? Have you figured out where the killer and Maya are? We still don't have any leads, but... What? We don't have any more time! If we just had one, even a single clue would be really helpful. I was only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself, I've got to keep the trial going until Maya's been rescued. But have I just run out of luck this time? Is all our hope for naught? A tent! Huh? A tent? I could see a circus... Who's saying this? I could see a circus tent! Oh, Mia! It looks like Maya was unconscious until just a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me. So it was Maya that called you away. She's locked in a dusty little room right now. But I could see a circus tent outside the window about 300 feet away. Gumshoe, is there a circus in town right now? There's only one, pal, the Berry Big Circus. Maya is somewhere within a 300-foot radius of the main tent. What? Okay, hold on a sec, pal. Hey, draw a circle on that map, about a 300-foot radius from the main tent. Hurry! And? I could see a mailbox under the window just outside. Gumshoe, there's also a mailbox. Okay, what else? What else, Mia? I'm sorry, but it was a very small window. I couldn't see anything else. It felt like I was in an old office building, maybe the 3rd floor or so. Yeah, dude, it felt like I was on the 3rd floor, even though I couldn't see anything. I heard her, an old office building. Good stuff, pal. Damn, you ever just like go into a building and just feel like you're on the 3rd floor? Okay, just a little longer, pal. Wish us luck. Good luck. I'll call you later, so don't let your battery die, okay, pal? Mia, Maya's not hurt, right? She's in a pretty bad state, Phoenix. She's being starved. Gumshoe, please hurry. Looks like we're out of time. Are you alright, Phoenix? It's only a matter of time before Maya's rescued. I can do this. I just have to make this trial last a little longer. Oh yeah. This is a super long trial, man. Court will now reconvene. The killer, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to his client. From this, one obvious question arises. Why this particular item? I believe the answer to that question will provide us with the name of the real culprit. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder. I understand. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews? Of course I have. You have seen it before. That's right. It's only natural that the witness has. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court to this bear's secrets? All right. Why does she... Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. At its center is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. Jewelry box. So this figurine, it's a container of sorts, is it? Yes. Looks can be deceiving, wouldn't you agree? Yes, this is superb craftsmanship. Oh, yes, I nearly forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. It looks like there really was something to that bear after all. Well, what can we cancel? We don't know anything about the bear. Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. Tell me about it! A puzzle? That's right. But it looks like an ordinary figurine. True enough. To people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess that this was a puzzle. So what kind of puzzle is this exactly? If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. So you can take it apart? And how would one go about doing that? Well, you first turn its tail to the right and then push it in. Oh, yes, I see. After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed. Ooh, this is most interesting. A boy and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again. Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on. I think he's lost it. So what do you find after you take the puzzle apart? At its center is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. And how do you know about this? I know because I was the one who bought it. Huh? It was a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland. Then this was a present from you? That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be perfect for one. So it was a present from Miss Andrews. Witness, let's continue with your testimony. Oh yeah, for someone who only got close to Juan to see about... Why would you give him a present? Like, that's the fishy part. So who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle? Only the two of us, Juan and myself. It was a souvenir from Switzerland, so I doubt there are that many people with this same bear in this country. But this looks like it can be easily broken, especially if someone wanted to get at what's inside. Well, it's a toy, but it can never be the same again once it's been broken. Alright. Who else knows that this bear is actually a small container or jewelry box? I never told anyone, and as long as Juan never told anyone either, then only the two of us knew. The two of you, huh? Then of course that means Mr. On Guard didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm going to get for now. Alright. Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you have come to realize... Huh? That there is one very important fact we have uncovered, and that is this. This bear is actually a jewelry box. Now that we have agreed to this point, there is only one logical question that can come next, and that is this. What is inside this box? What's inside? That's right. That's what we are going to find out next. Witness? Yes? You are the only one who can open this. Please. Is it me, or does Adrian Andrews remind you of Coco Bandicoot? Just like with that pink stuff. All eyes are on Miss Andrews now as she solves the puzzle and takes the bear apart. It's like narrating a golf tournament. Click. I've opened it. Is this what you wanted? Ooh, is it Celeste Impact's suicide note? It couldn't be. Because you bought it for him. So why would you put that in there? What is that? It looks like a note. I don't think we need to guess at what that is, do we, Mr. Wright? It's the suicide note. The suicide note? The suicide note left by Juan Carita's former manager, Celeste Impacts. Who would have put that in there? Juan wouldn't have put that in there if he knew Adrian knew about it. Like, she knows how to open it. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts, but just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Carita himself. It seems Celeste Impacts had very beautiful handwriting, and she just as beautifully signed her own name on this document. This is most definitely the note she left right before she committed suicide. Unless it's fake. Order! Witness, did you know about this? Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Juan. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public, but I couldn't find it anywhere, because it had already been taken by the killer. Everything is going at Mr. Edgeworth's pace, so now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question? What is written on the note? That's right. At least, that's what I would think. Now then, I believe it is only appropriate the contents of this note be made known. I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much just to get my hands on it, and I was going to burn it, for her sake. I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of the note aloud. Very well. The judge's voice rang loud and clear through the deathly silent courtroom. In her note, Celeste Impacts left to us a record of all that had happened to her, about being used and then thrown away by Ungard, about being engaged to Carita and Ungard's role in destroying that, and about how she decided in her despair to end it all. I would much have preferred you read the actual note rather than summarize its contents. And that's all Miss Impacts had to say. There is one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. Ungard. Then what? Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness? Yes. On the night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference. My word. Matt Ungard values above all else his refreshing like a spring breeze image, which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost. It's Ungard's fault that woman killed herself, and this time he even went so far as to kill someone to stop him from revealing that! How terrible! What a selfish person! I guess there are slimeball lawyers out there who will defend these creeps too! Ooh. There is no room for doubt here. Mr. DeKiller's client's goal was to obtain this suicide note, and the only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with the note inside was found at the defendant's house. It seems that we have come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone. How am I supposed to escape from this one? Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Gumshoe hasn't called yet, so you know what you must do. I know. I have to carry on and buy him some more time. Okay, There are two deadly pieces of evidence, the figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of this situation through one of those. The gavel is already in the judge's hand. Phoenix, hurry! The suicide note or the figurine? Which one of these should I pursue? I say the figurine. Let's examine why Adrian would have bought that for him in the first place. Please wait, Your Honor. Oh man, look at that lawyer. He's still going at it? It's like he doesn't care that he's trying to get a killer off the hook! The assassin took this with him from the crime scene after murdering Mr. Kurita. At the request of his client, of course. So what's your point, Mr. Wright? I don't think it's possible that Mr. DeKeller's client was met on guard! In fact, I think there is a contradiction here. You can't tell by just looking at it that this bear is really a jewelry box. The chances that Matt on guard thought the note was inside this bear are 0 to none. Oh, I didn't think of it that way. Exactly, but I did think of it that way, and I thought it was rather strange. You know, it might be that while on guard was watching Juan Kurita's room, that he kind of was like screwing with the bear at some point on camera. Was like, oh, look at that, I need that bear. Like if Kurita like took it apart and just to like look at the suicide note in plain view of the camera and then put it back or whatever. After all, there is no reason why Mr. On Guard would ever want a jewelry box like this. Order! Order! You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion? It was just a flash, but I think I did rather well on this one. Unfortunately, I think he believes differently. I believe a show of appreciation is in order. The defense seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself. I would like to direct the court's attention to this. What is that? It is a very small video. Yes, I knew it! It is a very small video camera, Your Honor. This type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying. Spying? What the... I thought that spy camera was in my possession. Matt on Guard and the victim both thought of the other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses. And? The victim, Juan Kurita, was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Matt on Guard. Order! Order! Ahem! Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? You don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities. Well... sort of. Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright. I see you are confused, Mr. Wright. You are probably thinking, but I have the camera that was in the stuffed bear's eye. But this camera that I have is not that same one. Last night, I searched the victim's house on a hunch. Using this. Gumshoe's bug sweeper. By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera. Matt on Guard's fingerprints were on there. Well, Phoenix, it looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, huh? What am I supposed to say to that evidence? I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. On Guard learned of the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along. He got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that. Hey, now what's that lawyer thinking? Mommy, is that man the bad killer guy? Shush, stop, don't look at him. The way he's sweating is just so nasty. Phoenix. Yes, Chief? Have you figured out what you're going to do next yet? What I'm going to do next? Does running away like a frightened child work? I know it seems like Mr. Edgeworth is very close to putting the lid on this case, but in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing. Well, what is it, Mia? There is a piece of evidence that he really should investigate. Something he should investigate? I would really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded for not remembering to look into the item when he had the chance. Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden? Alright, I think this time we finally understand everything. What could that evidence be? Let's see. Let's see if we can figure it out. Is it the note? Or Celeste's photo? Well, no, that doesn't make sense. The suicide note pretty much confirms that that would be a thing. The picture card? No, we already did all that. The guitar. What was in the guitar? Oh yeah, the Steel Samurai outfit, that's right. Or Nickel Samurai, whatever. Okay, well then it would have to probably be the suicide note, wouldn't it? Alright, I think this time we finally understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you? What is this piece of evidence that Mia is talking about? Can I figure out what it is that still needs to be looked at, or should I let it go? I have an objection, Your Honor. That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright. Objection! Your Honor, the defense has no intention of letting this go so easily. You are beginning to sound desperate. That's just your imagination, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. Huh? In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing. Hey, isn't that what I just said? So, you're telling me that I forgot something? You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth. Alright, let's save early. No! Save earlier. Or, I mean later. More recently. But there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence. Yes! That is Miss Impax's suicide note, right? Who knows? Huh. I mean, sure, this suicide note was found inside this bear, but this bear was in my possession until only a few moments ago. Which means... the handwriting on this suicide note has yet to be analyzed. Oh. So, as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Miss Impax or not, that has yet to be even remotely confirmed. Mr. Wright, you can't seriously be suggesting... Mr. Wright, are you saying this suicide note is a fake? Miss Andrews, you were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. Ungard. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it into this bear? I wonder if Celeste didn't even leave a suicide note, and Juan wrote it, and hid it, and was like, ooh, I can write her a suicide note and make it seem like it's all Mad Ungard's fault. Even though it probably was all his fault anyway. But, you know, I mean, it's still, for Matt to, like, it's still Juan Corrida's fault in the end that the marriage was a bust. Because the only reason he dumped Celeste was, oh, Matt had Celeste, so I guess, oh, ew, she's tainted goods, you know? So, how dare you? Your Honor, the defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. There is no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever. But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it. What? Recall the witness's testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could solve the puzzle is the witness herself. Ah, that's right. Miss Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so you could use it to frame Matt Ungard. I did no such thing. Right, if you're going to pronounce this suicide note a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory. Mr. Edgeworth, you were the one who presented this scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution. Gah! That's enough. Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting on this suicide note? It is as the defense has stated. The handwriting has yet to be analyzed. If that's the case, it seems that yet again we have reached a point where a verdict is impossible. That's impossible! This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Maya will physically be able to make it another day. I didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I request that both the prosecution and defense further investigate. Handwriting analysis, my butt! That's just the lawyer trying to buy more time!
Unguard is guilty! Look, any idiot can tell you that!
I think we've reached the end of the line.
Guilty! 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 Guilty!
What is that sound? It's Gumshoe. Hello, Gumshoe? What is with him? What's with that sigh? Where's Maya? What happened to the killer? He got away. What? I'm sorry, pal. I really am. I don't know what to say besides I'm sorry. I wish there was some way to make it up to you. I really do. Anyway, what's going on? We found his hideout, pal. But the two of them were already gone. This is terrible. I'm going to keep looking for them, pal. Don't you worry. I just need a little more time. But don't tell me we don't have any more.
Guilty! 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 Guilty!
Do you hear that? They're calling for his head. Mr. Wright, I can't. For us to come this far and... Oh! What is it? Let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth. I can't do that! The fact that nobody's interrupted this phone call yet. Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself? Yes, Your Honor. I am about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after. Hold on, Your Honor. Edgeworth, catch! Mr. Edgeworth? Please, you've got to buy us some more time. Court is in session. I'm sorry, Your Honor. You were saying... Mr. Wright, this is a court of law. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but... I am reluctant to do this, however. It appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow. This time I really can't do anything. Court is now adjourned for the day. Please wait, Your Honor. Edgeworth? What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time. For what purpose? We can perform the necessary tests on this piece of evidence in that time. But can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes? I believe we can, Your Honor. But wouldn't it be better if we adjourn for today and then reconvene tomorrow? 30 minutes. Please, Your Honor. That's all I'm asking for. Please, Your Honor! Very well. At the prosecution's request, this court will now take a 30-minute recess. But be advised that I will not allow another recess today. I'm not sure if this is helping or hurting us. The court will now take its final recess of the day.
This trial is still going on, oh my God.
Right. Well, what's going on with Maya's situation? The killer. It looks like he got away again. 30 minutes? We can't find her in that time. Report. Is that Mr. Edgeworth? We don't have time, just spit it out. Right. It looks like we just missed them, sir. But the killer left a few things behind by accident in his rush to get away. A few things? Can we use any of them as evidence? Oh, I thought you'd ask, pal. I've got the things he left with me right now, and I'm on my way over. Really? That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime lab first. We don't have time to wait for those guys, sir. When those guys weren't looking, I swiped the stuff and ran. What? Well, I'm not a detective anymore, so I had to. I'm really sorry, sir, but I've got to put the law on hold for now. Sounds bad. I hope he doesn't get in too much trouble over this. With my hunk of junk car, I'd say I'll be there in about 20 minutes, sir. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me. All right, just get here in one piece. I'm on a mission and no one can stop me now, sir. No one. I'm pulling out all the stops and running every red light. Items left by the murderer, huh? Maybe there's something among them that will be decisive enough to end this. What the hell was that? Hey, what's wrong? Detective Gumshoe, answer me. No one can stop me. What happened? It sounded like he had an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well. What was he thinking? We've got to hurry and call for help. But we have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken and he wasn't driving a patrol car, so no radio either. Also, if we don't get to those items before they do, the police will take possession of them. No! We can't let that happen! Well, if there is a way we can find out where he is, then we stand a chance. Why, oh why did Gumshoe have to get into an accident now? Is there any way to find out exactly where he is at this moment? There is a way. There's the Gumshoe tracker. That's right! There is a way! What? How? I'm sure we can find out where Detective Gumshoe is through this! Why are you bringing up Francisca at a time like... Oh, I see. I'll try to get in contact with her. The chances are slim, but she's all we have. Francisca? Will she even want to help us? Edgeworth, what is it? I don't have any right to judge anyone ever again. I know my client is guilty, but what I'm doing now... I'm pinning the guilt onto someone totally innocent and using the evidence to do so. It might be my turn to say, Defense Attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death. Right. It doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, that can only be seen after the verdict has been decided. The verdict?
Is Prosecutor Edgeworth here?
Yes, bailiff.
There's a phone call for you, sir. They said it was extremely urgent.
They're probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do. Ooh, to be continued. Oh, damn. Alright, well that's gonna do it for this episode, a little shorter episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.